Oh, hello there. Welcome to the Rochester Hotel here in Fitzroy.
I love it. It's great.
Bree Williams, I'm Matt Stewart. Sorry to introduce you to everyone.
No, that's fine. This is Matt Stewart. I've
Thank you.
paid you back in kind. That's fine.
Anyway, we're just hanging out here because it's the big launch and we're here with the big dog. This is the Reclink head honcho.
Yeah.
I really hung on that H.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
Hang on it. No, it's fine.
Head honcho.
Yeah, this is the big dog. Apparently only Matt's allowed to call him that, but I'm pushing boundaries today.
I think Bree's done that.
Do you want to talk, John? Tell us a little bit about what this is all about. Why are we here?
Well, firstly, Matt and Bree, and for all of your viewers, Channel 31, I just want to extend a huge thanks to Channel 31 for your incredible support. Not only now, but also in recent years. You've been incredibly supportive. You've stuck through the journey. You've gone through some hard times, but you're reinventing yourselves in a new and exciting format. Of course, this is about the Reclink Community Cup, and this year is our 24th year. So, look, we're incredibly ecstatic to have this event happening again at Victoria Park on the 24th of June. We'd love to see as many people over there join us as possible. And the other thing, Matt and Bree, is that it's the Silver Jubilee of the Rock Dogs. 25 years of those doggies, the musos coming together with the megahertz to play a fantastic round of Aussie rules football in the depth of winter.
You're really making our job easy. We were meant to ask you questions, but
that's fine. I guess that's us done.
So that means the Rock Dogs are 25 years old, but the event is 24 years old.
Yes, how strange is that? Can you have an event where the Rock Dogs are an anchor to the event and yet 1 year older? Well, it happens, and it's called the Rock Dogs. And there is a reason for that. Johnny Wongos was talking to me before, and he said, no, I can absolutely guarantee that one's 25 and one's 24. So I'm going to take Johnny's comments on that. But all things being aside, the other thing that to reflect on is that the musicians, the Rock Dogs, have been coming together year after year after year to play the Megas for a round of Aussie rules football.
I guess for people who aren't familiar with the Community Cup, which is the annual event we're talking about, what it is these days, it's two teams playing a game of footy. Yes. It's probably the least footy game in Australia. It's
aside from netball.
Apart from netball.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I didn't really consider that.
Just making sure that you're aware that netball isn't football.
Bree's here as also, she's playing a role of fact checker.
Keeping you honest.
So it's the music community coming together to play this match of football, and it's raising awareness and money for Reclink, your fantastic cause. One of the teams is the Rock Dogs, made up of musicians from around Melbourne. The other team is the Megahertz, where the red and white, and they're made up predominantly of the PBS members and the Triple R members, but also
Community Radio and members of the community TV community as well. So, and as John was saying, it is the 25th year of the Rock Dogs. It's their Silver Jubilee.
They want to. It's now, of course, it's the team previously known as the Rock Dogs will this year be known the Silver Jubilee Rock Dogs.
And they've sort of said that we have to call them that, haven't they?
Well, I've received the email, so I'm going to work on that basis.
John, would it be fair to say that you're under the thumb of Big Rock Dog?
Well, look, when you're working with a community, in many ways you're working with multiple stakeholders. And the thing that's most exciting is to see how many people in the community, our loyal volunteers, the Rock Dogs, the Megahertz, come together to actually make the event a great event. So thank you again.
We should just, before we finish up with you, we're about to talk to John Wongos. Okay. But before we do you want to tell us quickly, just very briefly, what Reclink does?
Yeah. Look, we're an organisation that our mission is to use sport, recreation and the arts to engage disadvantaged communities, people who are experiencing disadvantage, to help create pathways to transform their lives. And we've got some incredible research which shows that if we do it well and we work with those communities, the outcomes can be significantly positive for those people and the community involved.
Thanks so much, John Ballas. You are a bloody legend. You are the big dog.
The biggest dog of all.
Thank you, and Bruce.
Yeah.
You're the second person who's calling me a big dog.
Before you go, you want to give us a quick tip just to show us who you really do believe in?
Who do you go for?
I'm tipping at the moment the megahertz or the dogs.
That's
out on a limb.
That is very neutral. He tricked us.
Thanks so much for joining us, John.
Thanks, big dog.
We should welcome in now.
We got a next.
John Von Goes.
John Von Goes.
He's loomed large over the Community Cup.
From height.
From height, he's a tall man for sure. But he's played for both teams.
Here he is.
He's a community radio legend, but also a musical legend. Well, that's not really a question. What do you reckon about it? Any comment?
I don't know about the legend.
Too much or?
Way too much.
John Von Goes, what makes a legend?
Someone who's lived a life for their art and still creates great art in their old age. I don't know if there are any rock dogs who are legends yet.
So it's age-based as part of it, right? So maybe it's the future moniker you might have. What a weird...
Look, I'm the president of the rock...
Oh my gosh.
We have heard this, that you might have a foot in both camps.
Seriously, Paul.
That was a gaff and a half. Andrew Gaff, the Eagles player, has never made such a big gaff before. So, you, sir.
And I'm doing what all good presidents do, nothing except...
You're pumped. It's a big event. This is the 25th year for your old club, the Rock Dogs. It's about the 23rd for the Megahertz.
About that.
Yeah.
I actually played for the Rock Dogs the very first year, before the Megahertz even existed.
That to me is enough for legend status.
Yeah, absolutely. So you were at basically the conception of the Silver Jubilee. You're the Silver Father.
Yes.
Silver Fox.
Yes, we played chasers. I was in the ruck and got cleaned up by a bouncer.
Yeah, they would add some advantage having half a team of bouncers there. Thugs. Chasers.
Remember chasers?
I do remember chasers.
You wouldn't.
I don't. I'm from Perth. That's my excuse.
It's a good excuse.
Yeah. Well, everything there is really far away.
What are you expecting from the game this year? Any big news to break today for us?
I'm expecting the quality won't be that good.
Is there anything mirroring the AFL, the current sort of scoring issues, or it's always been well aside from the AFL?
Nothing about the football at the Community Cup mirrors the AFL.
Okay,
except the presidents.
So what about
John Elliott.
Yeah, you're a real Eddie Maguire. So what about your history with the Rock Dogs? Could you have a favourite moment in Megahertz or Rock Dogs history that you have seen or done with your own eyes or body?
When I kick goals.
That is quite the answer. I respect that.
You're running the show.
Those footballers, when they're interviewed, you kick 10 goals, you have a great... No, it didn't matter about my 10 goals. Because the team won. Bullshit.
Is that the difference of the Community Cup? It is about the individual?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially the Rock Dogs.
There's no I in football, but there is in community. So...
Rock Dogs should have an eye in it.
I think we've almost got to wrap up because the presentation's
Rock
kicking off.
has an eye in it.
Oh, okay.
There
you really have turned on him, haven't you?
Yeah. This is some real Shakespearean stuff going on here.
If you were going to give us one prediction as we finish up this interview, what would it be for the big day this year?
Music will be the winner on the day.
Can you give us any inside goss on who the headliner is this year?
I don't know yet.
We find out tonight, though, right?
We do.
And it'll be outside goss. Thanks, John Von Goes. That was really great. I loved the gaff.
He is a legend. I reckon he is a legend. I don't care what he says about it.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we've got a really exciting interview next.
Yes, we do.
With Ruby Soho.
Ruby Soho from PBS.
That's
playing for the Megahertz.
Playing for the Meg. I bet she's got some strong words.
We've had someone representing every line. A president. Yeah. We've had the Reclink big dog and now a player. How's it going?
Yeah. Pretty good.
Pumped?
I'm pumped.
Did you see what John Von Goes said about the Rock Dogs?
No, what did he say?
He said he was the president of the Rock Dogs and then realised his gaffe and tried to backtrack from there. What do you reckon? You're president.
Yeah, we're all president. Everyone's president of the Rock Dogs. No, we're taking them down. I've been playing for the Rock Dogs for the last 3 years, but I've
Wait, you're a turncoat as well?
Yeah, I'm definitely a
Oh my
turncoat.
God, there are so many Benedict Arnolds on the fields.
Yeah, well, I think there's so many people that play in bands and have radio shows, so it's a tough line to cross. And then
It's true.
What what brought you across? What got you over the line?
to get back to the megahertz, I started to see the light, and it's definitely time for a change. I couldn't deal with all the rock dogs boozing.
Do I see this right? I see it as like the megahertz are sort of the side of good and everything's right, and the rock dogs are sort of the scum and sort of everything that's wrong with society. Was that kind of right?
Yeah, I couldn't say it better myself, actually. I just decided to clean my act up and,
Well, I'm really proud of you. So Ruby, what are you most excited about on the day today?
on the day.
This year?
This year, just everything. I was talking to someone about it before, but just leading into it, it's a lot to do with just trainings every week, the camaraderie you start building up within the rooms, and then on the day, there's just nothing like it. You just walk out. It's like a dream walking out to Vic Park, and you watched all your favourite teams doing it as a kid, and then you get to do it, and it's all about rock and roll, watching the bands, playing with everyone, jumping on stage. Just it's all the kids, it's the dogs. It's the best.
Well, what position are you playing this year? Have you been assigned a spot as yet?
They kind of just tell you on the day. Hey.
Anyone at training sort of putting their hand up looking like they might be a starring this year around?
I think that every year you don't really have to say it because it's all like equal, but you can tell as soon as you start training who's going to be our, the ones that'll be.
Who should we be looking out for this year for the megahertz?
Megahertz? Oh man, it's hard to say. I think they're all going to be tip top, but Chris Gill's always one to watch out for, and we got some young boys coming in, so fresh legs, fresh radio shows,
fresh
and
legs.
young, and all the girls coming up as well.
Yeah, that's great. This has been such a big year for women's AFL too.
Yeah.
How do you feel like the Community Cup contributes to that?
Well, I definitely think because I think it was like 5 or 6 years ago, they started getting quite a lot of female players and stuff in. Well, it used to only be, I think, the first Community Cup was the first time we saw girls on there with the Spazzies 10 years ago. It was just the three of them eating like pizza on the oval, but now it's it's professionalised, and everyone every year gets better at footy, and it's good. Just some of the girls play for the girls' leagues, and it's awesome. Yeah, it's just awesome.
And what's your favourite snack at quarter time? Is it orange quarters or mandarins?
It's got to be oranges,
Thought so.
That is a big question.
It's a huge
I'm
question.
glad someone asked it.
Nobody's ever offered me mandarins though, but I would definitely take them as well.
That might be a Williams family thing. Yeah.
Well, I'll give it a go this year. I'll put them both out and see which one goes quicker.
Do you, as a sort of a crossing over player, what a well phrased phrase. Oh, that too. Do you have any inside knowledge of the opposition that you can sort of shed light on for the rest of your team?
Yeah, I definitely think that you can definitely know what it's like. I remember the first year that I've ever played, I was like, so nerve-wracked, and I was actually kind of in awe of the Rock Dogs because they were a lot of my favourite musicians and stuff, and I was pretty young, and, even with the megahertz, I was like, I'm playing with all my favourite people, but, I can't remember the question, but I'm looking at that.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. That's for us.
That's just our
saying.
It just says that we need to banter. Like it's actually a bit of a direction.
It says
for
you're
us.
doing a great job. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry, wrap up. Sorry, that's
wrap
slightly
up.
different. Keep it up and wrap up.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about
as
that.
we're wrapping up, because I think the presentation's about to start.
Yeah.
Do you have any final words, any tips for the day?
Or any threats?
Threats. Just for anyone that's coming along, make sure you get your tickets first, because last year my whole family got
sold
picked out.
Yeah, we sold out last year. It was amazing. Great atmosphere. We are really getting dirt roaded.
Thanks so much for talking to us, Ruby Soho.
You were awesome. Thank you.
And thanks so much for joining us. We're about to go to the live presentation now, so we'll wrap up from here. I've been Matt Stewart.
I've been Bree Williams.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I want to start off by acknowledging the traditional owners of this fantastic land that we're meeting on, the people of the Fitzroy people of the Kulin Nation. I want to pay my respects to elders both past and present and emerging elders. As well as that, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming here tonight to the national launch of the Reclink Community Cups. It's of course the launch of the Melbourne Community Cup, but it also heralds all of those fantastic events across Australia. Before I commence the proceedings, I'd like to call upon our good friend John Bongos, who's our MC for today. Thank you very much.
This is a football occasion. Bring it in, come on, bring it in, bring it in. Bring it in. I've got something to say. Hey John, you know how you allotted 2 minutes?
Yes.
Is that it, or are you going to come back for more later? Okay, we'll give you a couple more later. Look, apparently, 25 years I've been told of Rock Dogs. That's Silver Jubilee status. Give it up for the Rock Dogs. They are a couple of years older than the Megahertz. Just a couple. I actually played on the very first Rock Dogs team against Chasers 25 years ago. I thought I'd put that in. It was a long, long time ago. I am the president of the Megahertz Football Club, therefore I am partisan. Yeah. And we're going to have lots of really good words spoken this evening. We're going to be told what acts are on. That's really exciting. You can feel the tension about that. And they've kept a real good lead on it. The professionals haven't leaked. Who's heard? Who's heard anything? That's really professional. Now, really, they always have at the Community Cup really good theme songs. Always, every year without fail, and this one's a ripper. Sly and the Family Stones, Everyday People. Sly was not an everyday singer, a 4-octave range. No Rock Dogs have a 4-octave range, I'm telling you that. Sly did. He was not an everyday singer. But look, before we go any further, I'm going to read you these beautiful words to inspire us all in preparation for the Community Cup. It's an every person day. Sometimes I'm right and I can be wrong. My own beliefs are in my song. The butcher, the banker, the drummer, and then makes no difference what group I'm in. Rock Dogs, you know, that resonates, doesn't it? I am everyday people, yeah. Yeah, there is a blue one who can't accept the green one, for living with a fat one, trying to be a skinny one, and different strokes for different folks, and so on, and Scooby-Doo-Doo. Oh, Shah, we gotta live together. I am no better and neither are you. We are the same whatever we do. You love me, you hate me, you know me, and then you can't figure out the bag I'm in. I am everyday people, yeah. There is a long hair that doesn't like a short hair, or being such a rich one that will not help the poor one, and different strokes for different folks, and so on, and Scooby-Doo-Doo. Oh, Shah, we gotta live together. There is a yellow one that won't accept the black one, that won't accept the red one, that won't accept the white one, and different strokes for different folks, and so on, and Scooby-Doo-Doo. I am everyday people. Can I welcome John Ballas back to the microphone?
Well, how do you top that? You can't. You just roll with it. You accept that Johnny Bongos is a legend and an incredible supporter of the Reclink Community Cup and the Reclink Australia family. So thank you for that, John. It's just awesome. Awesome stuff. I want to take the opportunity because she's only given me 2 minutes and I don't want to rush my words too fast. I do want to take the opportunity, importantly, to thank the City of Yarra. They've been fantastic supporters of the Reclink Community Cup. It's allowed us to transition from Elsonwick, which has been a great venue for us over many years, but you know, the Victoria Park is just such a fantastic, iconic venue for the Community Cup, and we're grateful to the City of Yarra. To Councillor Steve Jolly, I haven't seen Steve here. Are you here, Steve? No. Okay. Just a huge thanks to Steve for his incredible support. Also to Maylene Chim and me, who are both councillors from the City of Yarra. Thank you for being here. And of course, previously we had Amanda Stone who was here, another councillor from the City of Yarra. Great support, previous mayor, who helped us in that transition. To Young Henrys and the Victoria Responsible Gambling Foundation, our 2 major sponsors. Young Henrys have been on this fantastic journey with us, supporting us not only for the Melbourne Reclink Community Cup, but also for other events in other states. And just a huge thanks to Young Henrys for their support. Yes, exactly. And to the Victorian Responsible Gambling Foundation, a wonderful partnership helping promote the importance of understanding responsible gambling in our community. We really are privileged to have the Victorian Responsible Gambling as our partner in this event, so thank you again. To Triple R and PBS, community radio partners, it's pretty hard not to go anywhere in Melbourne without someone saying, oh yeah, Triple R, PBS. Both community radio stations are anchor points. They really pick up the pulse of our community. They're able to connect with the community. I was talking to Dave the other day from Triple R, and he said, you know, John, we've got about 500,000 listeners that we regularly communicate with. And in fact, PBS has a similar number, I believe, as well. So across the 2, 1 million listeners, which is an incredibly powerful means of communicating with the community. But it's the Triple R and PBS DNA that makes up the megahertz. So we want to thank both stations, both families of community radio stations supporting us. So thank you so much. And to the Rock Dogs, we've got Nick over here. We've also got Adrian and other Rock Dogs. I don't know everybody's name, but I can certainly, and Roger, I think, is over here as well. So just a huge thanks to the Rock Dogs. As John Mongo's indicated, it's their 25th year anniversary. We've been told from high authority that they should be now referred to as the Silver Jubilee Rock Dogs. And we're going to do that. So huge thanks to the Rock Dogs. To our other supporters, Media Entertainment and Arts Alliance, and to Nelson Alexander. Nelson Alexander is a local real estate agency that has taken this event. They've seen the value of the event, they've provided support to the event, and are now one of our supporters. They are embedded in the community, and we are incredibly thankful to Nelson Alexander for your support and your presence here tonight for the launch. So thank you so much for that. And then finally, I don't want to take too much time, but I also want to acknowledge Channel 31. We've got Matt and Bree here, who are the 2 presenters, but we've also got other people from Channel 31. Channel 31, a community TV station who has gone now into the net and still broadcasting, which is awesome. But the community, Channel 31, who have again come on this journey to create a visual narrative of the Community Cup for the people who are unable to attend. We're incredibly grateful for Channel 31's support. So again, thank you so much for attending the launch this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, John. If I could introduce Sharon Milner from the Victorian Responsible Gambling Foundation.
time to speak tonight. I too would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that we're on and pay my respects to elders past, present and future. The Victorian Responsible Gambling Foundation is really proud to partner with Reclink, particularly on such an iconic event as this. The Reclink Community Cup truly does bring the whole community together and really echoes the Foundation's core message about separating gambling from sport by truly placing the focus on the true passion and spirit of community sport and loving the game, not the odds. Our vision is to be a Victoria free from gambling harm. By working with Reclink Australia, it means we're able to raise awareness about the harms of gambling, support those who may need help through the provision of alternative forms of recreation like sport within vulnerable communities. We want communities to start having conversations about gambling and really, I guess, to start to raise awareness of the risks, particularly around increasingly aggressive and pervasive promotion of sports betting, which is really starting to normalise this idea about sport and gambling going hand in hand and changing the experience that we all, but particularly teenagers and young people, are having in the way they experience sport. So on the 24th of June, we'll be there with a marquee giving away lots of freebies, and we'd love to have a chat to anyone, so please come in and say hi. We'll be talking about our Love the Game program, which is really about decoupling gambling and sport. And Steve from our organisation will be there as well, so please do stop by. I'd just like to thank you again for this opportunity to be part of this iconic event. Thanks.
And Sharon, on the scoreboard at Victoria Park, there will be no gambling ads. There won't be any ads at all. Chris Gill, I know how it feels. I was once the oldest megahertz on the team. Now you are. Technically speaking, not quite. Thank you very much, people. It is an honour and a privilege yet again to be representing the megahertz and Reclink, of course, because we understand and believe in what Reclink do and think it's a great cause that we are fighting for on the day. Great to see responsible gambling involved because the megahertz this year will be a sure thing. Allow me to elaborate. The reason why I would like to introduce my co-captain today, she has seen one side of the fence and she has chosen to come to the other side of the fence. Allow me to introduce to rapturous applause, Ruby Kumar, please take off.
Dogs hangovers and little blackness. So I'm just looking at what is going to be a really good community cup. We're all winners anyway, but yeah, the women will be pretty nice to me where it's at. Alright, go doggies, go megahertz, go Reclink, and let's have the best day ever.
You are very correct, Ruby. It's been going for 23 years, the Community Cup, and every year music has been the winner on the day. A right of response, I guess. We'll have to have a rock dog, Lucy Choir. You got some support there. Have you ever heard Lucy sing? Yes. She sings a whole lot better than she plays footy. But hang on, I haven't finished. But she's not bad at footy either.
Thank you, John. That must have been hard for you. I'm a little bit nervous because a lot of us rock dogs are very nervous with a microphone in front of us. You can tell I'm trembling with fear. First of all, I would like to acknowledge the traditional landowners, the Wurundjeri people from the Kulin Nation, and to acknowledge elders past, present and who may be here today. I would like to acknowledge the Reclink Australia, the Reclink Australia Foundation, and the Reclink Community Cup, the Reclink Australia Foundation, and the Reclink Community Cup, the Reclink Australia Foundation, and the Reclink Community Cup, the Reclink Australia Foundation, and the Reclink Community Cup, the Reclink Australia Foundation, and the Reclink Community Cup, the Reclink Australia Foundation, and the Reclink Community Cup, the Reclink Australia Foundation, and the Reclink Community Cup, the Reclink Australia Foundation, and the Reclink Community Cup, the Reclink Australia Foundation, and the Reclink Community Cup, the Reclink Australia Foundation, and the Reclink Community Cup, the Reclink Australia Foundation, and the Reclink Community Cup, the Reclink Australia Foundation, and the Reclink Community Cup, the I'm speaking on behalf of the Rock Dogs today, the 25th anniversary Jubilee Rock Dogs. A proud Rock Dog and privileged enough to be a member of the leadership team this year, which is a great privilege. Another reason that's important to acknowledge the original landowners is because also I feel we've been given the privilege as well to train on the Fitzroy Stars ground, which is a bit of a secret, so don't tell anybody. That's our secret training place this year. And the Rock Dogs have been in fine form. We're absolutely fighting fit this year. In fact, one of the elder Indigenous men who was at the club came down and asked if maybe we were the seniors team. And he thought he might be able to have a kick. So I just explained that it wasn't the seniors team, but he was welcome to come down and hang out. So he came down and said hello. Wonderful welcoming atmosphere. Had the opportunity to see some of the Stars play, which was really exciting. One of the great things about being a Rock Dog, this will be my 3rd year, is the family atmosphere and the fact that I can bring these two along as having been predominantly. This is Paddy Rock Dog and Chloe Rock Dog Jr. over here. As predominantly being a single mum most of the time, it's like a second family for these guys to come down. There's always someone to hang out with and chat to and other kids. I got involved in the Community Cup after suffering from an illness and having had to learn how to walk properly again. And went to the Cup in 2015 where these two guys got their jumpers from. And had only really experienced the sort of the footy show and the, I guess, the very masculine culture of football. And as much as I liked it, I was never a huge supporter. But that year, I saw women playing together with men, particularly KBS, running out in the field and going, wow, she's actually a great footballer. And a fantastic entertainer as well. And I thought, gee, if I ever get to the possibility that I can even play with these kids and get out there physically and move again, what a wonderful thing to be a part of. And so it was actually only a year later that I was involved for the first year. So yeah, I just wanted to say congratulations on the Rock Dogs for 25th year anniversary. Thank you for letting me be part of the team. And yeah, all the best for this year to both sides. We do, as much as we really detest the megahertz sometimes, we also have a lot of love for the megahertz because we can't live without each other. You know? Just a quick interview. I thought I'd ask you quickly, Paddy, how do you feel about being part of the Rock Dogs? How do you feel about being part of the Rock Dogs and coming down to training?
I feel really good. Yeah.
What's been one of your highlights?
Winning against the Megas.
Did you have a chance to play at one point?
Yes, I did. And who did you play against? The Fire Brigade.
And did you score any goals?
2.
And Chloe, how do you feel about being involved in the Rock Dogs?
Good.
Just good?
Yeah.
What's your favourite thing about coming to training?
That I can kick the football.
And you're pretty good at it too. Also, finally, it's a huge thing for the Rock Dogs this year and a huge thing for inclusion in all areas. Rory, our coach this year, identifies as being on the spectrum, which is some members of my family are as well, and inclusion in everything as far down as the primary school, kindergarten level we've got such a long way to get a little bit further with inclusion, and the fact that we've got a coach who is representing that community and also just for ability in general, focusing on the ability and not the disability. He's an absolutely phenomenal coach. And one of the things that Rory, the messages that we've taken from that is that if Rory doesn't hear it, then it doesn't happen. So it's great in getting the voices up. I think I've covered most things. terribly shy, of course, and hard to get me up here, actually. Thanks.
Lucy's Warren family. If you heard her sing, she's an even better singer than she is public speaker. All I'm trying to say is she's a really good singer. I'm going to introduce a couple of people who really know good singers when they hear them. One of them's been in the business a long, long time. Listened to lots and lots of really good singers. You can barely hear anymore. Roger and Coops, they're going to come up here for the big moment because they're going, shh, they're going to tell us the big secret announcement. Who's on the bill? They haven't leaked it, they've been really good. Everyone's itching to know. Everyone's itching to know. Come on, share this microphone.
Well, thank you all. We'll keep it brief as two people can be who are used to talking a lot. It's lovely to see Ruby here. I told you, follow your heart, do that, that's great. I have 3 words for you, Kate Boston-Smith. That's it, we're done. Never mind the bollocks, it's the Silver Jubilee Rock Dogs. And thank you to Johnny for doing the lyrics to Everyday People, because they do resonate, and already next year's theme, the Shag's Philosophy of the World, is writing itself. Because I reckon those 2 songs were almost separated at birth. Anyway, and we're bringing a bit more funk this year. Johnny said last year after we got Remy and Sampa, it's good to see we're bringing some funk to the Community Cup. And the music this year, it's probably musically about as diverse as it's ever been. So, with no further ado, I'll start with, we're going to open, as Lucy said before, the Silver Jubilee Rock Dogs have a new coach. Dan Salton's out doing something else, being Dan, talking about Dan, being Dan, and talking about Dan. And so we've got somebody who doesn't like to talk about himself too much, someone who's more prepared to listen, and that's Rory. Rory's superpower is that he's blind. That's his superpower, and it's a superpower for the Rock Dog. Not whatever. His hearing. He's the Matt Murdoch of the Rock Dogs, of the Silver Jubilee Rock Dogs. And we're proud to announce, pleased to announce, that opening this year's Community Cup for everybody, for everyday people, will be Rory's band, the internationally renowned Rudely Interrupted.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to be coaching the Rock Dogs, and 5 weeks in I can tell just how committed they are. They've all trained the house down, lots of voices. Now, when I hear, who said it, can't remember who said it, but they're right, if I'm not hearing it, it ain't happening. So their voices help me help them, and 5 weeks in, and they're just training beautifully. So much so that I've given them this Sunday off to spend time with their mums, for all the wonderful mothers out there. And I can tell, come June 24th, we're going to smash those megahertz. And it's really overwhelming in some ways that our band, Rudely Interrupted, is actually going to be playing on this special day. You know, it's taken 12 years, but we've finally been included and supported by our peers, and it's our music and not my disability that's being talked about. So this is going to be our best show ever, by a long way, by the length of a straight. yes, I have one simple message for these rock dogs, which I won't use too excessively, but I'll use it now. If you don't do as the coach says, you're sitting on the pine. Or we'll have an 8 a.m. training session. How's that sound?
Thank you, Rory. Now, I have to say we have actually acknowledged the traditionals of the land on several occasions, but just as a curveball, I'd like to acknowledge the current custodian of the Rochester, who must have played a part in tonight, my friend Dan, who's over there somewhere. My friend Dan is over there somewhere. He's the second tallest guy in the room after Woodsy. Anyway, thank you, Dan. It's good to see you again. So, well, we were going to talk about Rudely Interrupted, but I think Rory covered it.
Yeah, I beat you to it.
So, we were politely interrupted. The next stage is, last year we had box wars. So we're going to do something on the field. So what we've done, me and my friends and I, a few people, come up with this idea, and we're working on it, is a multicultural dance-off. So here's the idea. So we've invited gamelan dancers, Bollywood dancers, Tiwi Island dancers, Maoris to do the haka, any kind of Polish folkloric, Greek dancers, plate smashers, you name it. And we've invited as many different community groups as we can who have their own little dance troupes, hip-hop crews, etc., to come and be part of this. So what we're going to do is, there's going to be a track. It's going to be around dancing in the streets, let's dance, all the dancing favourites. And they're going to get out there, they're going to strut their stuff for about 20 minutes. Then the cheerleaders are going to come on. They're going to strut their stuff, and there's going to be a bit of a dance-off. That's going to continue, and then we're going to invite the public for a pitch invasion. Everybody can get up there and do their thing. Okay? So traditionally, this part of the cup is where everybody gets to participate on the field, and what better way to do it than a cracking dance tune, as many different multicultural dance troupes, all being as flamboyant as strutting their stuff as they can, plus the cheerleaders and the general public. So that's a little bit more inclusion. After that, okay, are you familiar with the Cartridge family? Okay, well, the Cartridge family. So the Cartridge family is, they'll play the pre-game spot. Cartridge family is Rusty from the Scared Weird Little Guys, who came and helped us with Wally, Meanie and Murray Wiggles' bubblegum machine last year. If anyone knows Rusty from the Scared Weird Little Guys and Denise from Triple R, I think you probably do. It's Rusty, Sarah Carroll and Susanna Espy, and their Cartridge family is a country and western piss tape. They have fantastic songs like Vegetarian Truck Driving Man, Beer Rwana. It's great family entertainment. So they're going to do the pre-game spot. Then there'll be the speeches. Before the game starts, traditionally, somebody sings the theme song. Sorry? No, we've got no secrets. But I'll throw to you in a sec. Because this year, we wanted to look for someone to sing Everyday People, and we cast it around, we thought about it, and we're proud to say, and he's honoured to accept, we asked Kucha Edwards, and he said, I'm in. Talk about Kucha for a sec? Or have we said enough?
If you don't know him, it's about time you do. An amazing, award-winning blues artist, First Nations blues artist, an amazing man, a huge presence, and a fantastic songwriter. Was it the Australian Music Prize or the Melbourne Music Prize that he won last year? Melbourne, thank you, Adrian.
Melbourne Music Prize.
Last year. An incredible man. It's time that he got a bit more of a spotlight, I think. Fantastic.
He's an icon, and for a whole bunch of different reasons, the idea that Kucha Edwards, and accompanied by a couple of his friends, are going to do Everyday People. It's going to be top notch. Then the game will happen, like, first half, whatever. Then Hiatus Coyote. So Hiatus Coyote, as everyone knows, are red hot. If you're under a certain age, which could be anything from 20 to 50 to 70, depending on how old you think you are, Hiatus Coyote are the hottest thing around town. They're going to do the halftime spot. They've deliberately not been out of the public eye. Sorry, they have deliberately been out of the public eye. They did a big show at Taronga Zoo. They just, at the moment, they feel they're suffering from overexposure. But they went, the Community Cup will do that. Don't make us do any media, but we're more than happy to turn up on the day and support the cause even though we feel we really prefer not to be in the spotlight. This is exactly the kind of spotlight that we'd like to be in, and in all fairness, well, I suggested that it was actually Adrian and Dave's idea, and the radio station would really wanted them, and they'd supported them, and they would appreciate it. They were like, whatever we can do. So that's fantastic. Hiatus code is, it's a coup, and in all fairness, it's a coup that everybody in the OC played a role in, because everybody had their bit when I made the call for them to go, of course, we're going to do that. No problem, that's great. Just don't make us do any interviews at 7 o'clock in the morning on Radio National. Then the second half happened, whatever, and then the Rock Dogs will win, and Black and Silver Jubilee Rock Dogs will win. Anyway, so that's going to happen, and then for the more high energy ending after the game, as if there wasn't high energy enough, there'll be the usual medal presentation, which is pretty punk rock as it goes, because everyone was into punk rock for awards, and then it'll be cable ties. Again, another public radio favourite, another public radio request. They couldn't say yes fast enough, and I have to say, negotiating with them, their attitude towards playing and their position in the music industry and what they stand for was incredibly positive, and I have nothing but respect for the way they conducted themselves in, here's what we want to do, and all this sort of stuff. And they didn't ask for anything, but they were very specific about what it meant for them and how they thought they would best be portrayed, etc. It comes out wrong, but they were great to deal with. They were firm, they were principled, they're self-managed, they're more DIY than almost anybody else in town. So maximum respect to them. And to finish, you haven't meant to do that. Oh, I said cable ties. On the next one, no. Well, I'll let Coops give a little bit of an intro to this, because I've been hogging the mic.
This really is Roger and the community radio reps lineup. It's an awesome one. You may have.
But you helped me find them.
That's okay. They wanted to be found, Roger. One of Roger's favourites. One of my favourites also. The Aints. What can we say about the Aints? Exclamation mark Aints. That's right. Roger, what do we say about the Aints?
Well, the Aints is Ed Cooper and Peter Oxley from the Sunny Boys playing the first 3 Saints albums with Alistair Spence and a horn section, and if you haven't seen it, it's fucking on. They do it's Know Your Product, I'm Stranded, Nights in Venice, every great Saints song that Ed Cooper had, and so this is, and also for Ed, who was, let's face it, an Australian icon, if not prolific. What he's done now is gone back to where after prehistoric sounds, when the Saints broke up, and those who were Saints fans at the time were bitterly disappointed because Bailey carried on with a fucking carbon fax copy rubbish shit. Children. Anyway, so Ed's now finally he's realised that this is the next logical progression, and the 4th proper Saints album would have been this. So he plays the Saints hits from the first 3 albums, all those great songs with a horn section, unbelievably well. He even plays songs from that era that they never recorded, which are all classics. Most importantly, it's 40 minutes of powerhouse Australian iconic hits. Know your product, yak yak yak, the end, and then we go home.
Thanks, Roger. Music by everyday people for everyday people. Johnny Goes.
That's probably about 4 coups they've pulled up. Let's give them another round of applause. 4 coups. That's a high coup count. Yes. Well, we're just about finished for the early evening. Jimmy Phoenix from a whale called Phoenix shall entertain us shortly. Really cool, the amount of acknowledgements of country. We're not a bad bunch, that's all about on the back. Go Reclink. Go Reclink. Go Community Cup. Music will be the winner on the day. Thank you very much.
Oh, Thank you.